Hello, and welcome once again to Rise and Lead, right here on Amogate Radio Communications, ARC. I'm your host, Adeola Gbadebo, and it's always a pleasure to have you tuned in to another powerful episode on our ongoing series. This is the third episode in the series, Rise and Lead, the new playbook for young leaders. This program is designed for young professionals, entrepreneurs, and emerging leaders who want to learn fast and lead well and leave a lasting legacy. It's about developing the mindsets, skills, and the values that define tomorrow's leaders today. Last week on episode 2, we discussed mastery, building the skills that make you indispensable. We talked about the importance of identifying the right skills, practicing deliberately, and stacking abilities that make you valuable and relevant in a fast-changing world. Today we are going a little deeper into the heart of leadership, the side that doesn't always show on resumes or performance charts, yet determines who people want to follow and who they trust. Our topic for today is leading with emotional intelligence, the human side of leadership. Leading with emotional intelligence, the human side of leadership. Remember this: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Emotional intelligence is the ability to sense, understand, and effectively apply the power and acumen of emotions to facilitate higher levels of collaboration and productivity. That definition was by Robert K. Cooper. Emotional intelligence is the ability to sense, understand, and effectively apply the power and acumen of emotions to facilitate high levels of collaboration and productivity. In the 21st century, leadership is not just about what you know, it's about how you connect. Leadership is not just a buzzword. You can have the best technical skills, but if you can't inspire, if you cannot communicate or empathize with people, you will struggle to lead effectively. If people don't like you, you cannot lead them. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is what separates great leaders from competent managers. It's what allows you to remain calm under pressure, handle conflict gracefully, motivate your team, and build trust. It is what separates great leaders from competent managers. Emotional intelligence allows you to remain calm under pressure. It helps you to handle conflict gracefully and to motivate your team. At the same time, you are able to build trust. I usually ask a question during my counseling sessions, especially for career people and people who intend to lead. I ask them if they had a favorite teacher while they were in secondary school. And yes, I asked what subject that teacher taught, and they told me. And then I ask further, did you ever fail the teacher's subject? And the answer is always no. You don't, when you like a teacher, you don't fail that teacher's subject. Why? You don't want to, because of that emotion that is involved. You like the teacher. Especially if you also perceive that teacher likes you. You don't want to disappoint the teacher. You pay extra attention when the teacher is in class. You focus more on the assignments and the tests that the teacher gives. You read for the examination very well. You prepare better than other subjects. Why? You don't want to fail that teacher. You want to impress that teacher. Can you see how easily it is for your followers to follow you, to accept your leadership? All they need to do is like you. All you need to do is to be likable. You are competent. You are also approachable. People can come to you. They can connect to you on a different level. That's what makes a great leader. So this episode connects the meaning, understanding people, and mastery, and then managing emotions. Emotional intelligence allows you to master yourself so that you can meaningfully influence others. So what I'm saying is, you master yourself first, and then you can begin to meaningfully influence others. Without mastering yourself, without understanding yourself, you cannot understand how you can have a meaningful influence on others. So the main discussion I will be taking today is on the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence. 5 pillars. So we'll break it down. Emotional intelligence, is built around 5 pillars, and each one contributes to how you show up as a leader. The first is self-awareness. Know yourself first. Self-awareness. Know yourself first. So this is the foundation of emotional intelligence. This is what every leader must know. It is about being aware of your emotions, triggers, tendencies. It is about knowing your personality, understanding your personality, understanding your temperaments, and how the strengths and weaknesses of that particular temperament can affect the way you reason and the way you respond eventually. Ask yourself, what emotions do I feel most often? How do I react under pressure? What are my strengths? And what are my blind spots? A self-aware leader doesn't let emotions hijack decisions. Instead, they pause, reflect, and respond with clarity. When you know yourself and you apply yourself properly, then others can trust you. Others can trust you. Number 2, self-regulation. That is managing your own emotions. Self-regulation. Leadership comes with a lot of pressure, and how you handle it determines your credibility. Self-regulation means staying composed even when things go wrong. Sometimes all it takes to be a good leader is that you are standing strong and you're not betraying any emotions. And that alone can give strength to the team. That alone can give strength to the team. Self-regulation means staying composed even when things go wrong. You've been planning a project for weeks. Everything is going on fine. Suddenly, someone makes a costly mistake. It's not only going to increase the cost of the project, it's going to set you back maybe some weeks. How do you respond in situations like this? When you are able to stay calm and take control of the situation, everyone knows that you are angry, but they know, everyone think you should be angry, know that you should be angry, but they cannot see that anger. You are calm. You are able to take control of the situation. You call a meeting, you sit down, you reassess the situation, and then set new execution plan to correct and take the project back on course. And then somewhere alone, you are able to call the culprit, and then you are able to talk. You express your displeasure without insulting, and then you are able to communicate your displeasure without losing your cool. It is not about suppressing emotions. It's about channeling them appropriately. It is about channeling them productively. Instead of reacting, you respond. Instead of exploding, you evaluate. Instead of blaming, you build. A leader who can stay calm in chaos gives their team confidence. Number 3, motivation, the fire within. High EQ leaders don't rely only on external words. They are driven by a deeper purpose. Give up a deeper sense of purpose. They are intrinsically motivated. Motivation is that inner fuel that keeps you moving forward when no one is clapping. Motivation is the inner fuel that keeps you moving forward when no one is clapping. Ask yourself, why do I do what I do? If your why is clear, your how will always find a way. And here's the truth. Motivated leaders don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They create those opportunities. They look, it's like they see a seed in all around that can be planted. A seed of opportunity everywhere that can be planted, and before you know it, because they are highly creative and innovative, and they are motivated from within, not because of money, but they have a higher sense of purpose. They are able to propel themselves even when the chips are down, when everyone is tired. They still get to fire themselves from within, and that fire is actually contagious, and others soon catch that fire. Before you know it, the whole team is back on track. They are suddenly motivated. Motivation is contagious. If you see a truly motivated person and you are a member of the team, you will go and join him. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still on radio. I'm on Gate Radio Communications, and we'd like to go on a short break now. After the break, we will continue with numbers 4 and 5
Harmogate, founded in 2008 out of a desire to build transgenerational structures for organizations, institutions, and nations. We have worked with large businesses, international development organizations, and public sector ministries and agencies. Harmogate, our uniqueness is that we do not just work for you, we work with you. For example, we do not leave you to the task after sourcing talent that will help the new hire settle into robust leadership development programs. We are technical experts in advising and supporting institutions on strategy and leadership, artificial intelligence, strategic human resource management, public sector reform, finance, audit and tax, FAT, and strategic communications. We do all this and more out of a desire to transform nations through institutions and organizations. For further inquiries, email contact@thearmogate.org or call +234 810 999 6666, +234 807 957 4151, and +161 0504 6026. www.thearmogate.org. Harmogate, building to endure and transforming nations through institutions and organizations.
Welcome back to Rise and Lead on Amogate Radio Communications, where we help you learn fast, lead well, and leave a legacy. If you're just joining us, we've been discussing leadership with emotional intelligence, the human side of leadership. I was talking about the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence. I spoke about the first one being self-awareness, for you to know yourself. You are aware of your emotions and the things that trigger that emotion, and the tendencies, your tendencies. I did speak about your temperaments and your personality. Number 2 is self-regulation, managing your emotions. Self-regulation means staying composed even when things go wrong. Number 3 is motivation, the fire within. That is the inner fuel that keeps you moving forward when no one is clapping. Now let's go to number 4, empathy, understanding others. Empathy is the leader's secret superpower, the ability to understand people's feelings and perspectives even when you disagree. It's the ability to understand people's feelings, their own perspectives, even when you disagree. I usually take an example that if you have M written on a big piece of paper facing yourself, and you ask someone to sit at the other side, you will say you have M, the person will say it's W. If you are unable to move to the other side to see that it's actually W that the person is saying, you will probably argue with that person, even if the person agrees with you because you are the leader. He has a feeling inside that you don't know what you're doing. However, if you are able to move to the other side, that is, you will be able to see from that person's point of view. Yes, you will see that actually this person sees a W, but the difference is that there's a note down where you are, which is an M, where it is written. If that person looks at that note from the other side, that note is going to be written upside down. That's what shows that it's actually an M, but you understood, and you are able to bring that person back and show that note to say, can you see this note? If you are on the other side, you will see this note has been written upside down. Since you cannot read it upside down, actually my point of view is the one. So you are able to galvanize that person towards your own point of view. It's the ability to understand people's feelings and perspectives even when you disagree. Empathy builds trust. It helps you resolve conflicts. It motivates people and lead with compassion. People accept you because they know you understand their perspective. It is easier to resolve their conflicts because you understand the bone of contention and you can understand both sides' perspective. Then you make them understand each other, and that's all. It doesn't mean you are weak. It actually means you are wise. When you empathize with people, you put yourselves in their shoes and you can see from their perspective. The best leaders listen before they lead. They listen before they judge. They listen, not only listen, they understand before they judge. They see the person, not just the position. They see why that person takes that position. They see beyond. They are able to understand the levels of the reasoning capacity of that person's experiences, his exposure, what he has been exposed to, and those things, your experiences, your exposure, your personalities and temperament all come together to form your perspective. It gives your mentality. It is the underlying factor that triggers your responses. Number 5, social skills, leading through connection. Your relationships are your leadership currency. That's what you spend. Social skills include communication, collaboration, and influence. A good leader communicates unambiguously. Be clear, be concise, be precise. Let your communication, let it be free of any ambiguity. If you suspect, test that what you said, what you communicated is well understood before you move on. Great leaders collaborate perfectly, and that helps them to influence people. Can you bring people together? Can you galvanize people? Leadership is also defined as the ability to influence a group of people to achieve a certain goal. Can you bring people together? Will they follow you? Why should they follow you? Can you motivate a team with your words and presence? Can you resolve conflicts and still keep relationships intact? That's what makes emotional intelligence the backbone of influence in any field. Next, we will discuss how to build emotional intelligence step by step. Let's explore how to develop this vital skill, building your emotional intelligence. Here's the 5 practical steps to build and strengthen your emotional intelligence as a young leader. Number 1, pause before you react. A long time ago, when I was teaching in the classroom, I had a teacher with me. Her name is Kende. Incidentally, I found out that We were related. I didn't even know we were related then. She was teaching. I was the vice principal of the school, and then she was teaching in the junior section. The school is a nursery, primary, and secondary, and I was the vice principal, and I oversee the nursery and primary school also. Kende is highly temperamental. She's, reacts almost instantly. But she has a little girl in her class called Onyinye. And because she teaches in the nursery section, Onyinye reads her alphabet very slowly, slower than every other person in that classroom. She caught my attention, and I particularly knew that the way she normally reads. So she would say, A, B. So she takes a deep breath after every letter she pronounces. So one day, Kende had an altercation with one of the fellow colleagues, and he came to my office and she was fuming. She wanted to, and I knew that if she had continued that way, so I told her to hold on, count A to Z the way Onyinye normally counts. And then she said, what? I said, you're Onyinye's teacher. You know how Onyinye counts. So you need to read the alphabet exactly the way Onyinye reads it. So she said, A, B, Before she got to D, she started smiling. So I asked, I said, okay, I'm good now. You can stop there. Now tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. Pause before you react. When something triggers you, don't speak immediately. Pause, breathe, and think. That 2 seconds pause can save you from 2 weeks or 2 years or 2 decades of regrets. Step 2, seek feedback regularly. Ask your friends, teammates, or mentors, how do I come across when I'm stressed? What's the tone of my voice when I'm talking and when I'm angry? What's one thing I could do to communicate better? Feedback is a mirror. It helps you see yourself clearly. Step 3, practice active listening. The problem we have in this part of the world is that we're told that English is in 2 parts, reading and writing. But it is 4. There is also speaking and listening. So when raised to listen, you have to practice active listening. Don't listen just to reply. Listen to understand. Repeat what you've heard. Validate people's feelings. Repeat. If I heard you clearly, you said so and so and so and so. The person agrees and says yes. That means you heard. If the person didn't, if there was a misconception, the person says no. What I said is this and this, and then you repeat again and says yes. Okay, fine. Then you move on. You move ahead. Validate people's feelings and respond thoughtfully. When people feel heard, they open up. When they open up, you can lead them. When someone is in front of you, trying to report a situation to you, look straight into the person's eyes. Let the person know you are listening. Don't say, go ahead, while you are pressing your computer. Practice actively listening. Step 4, manage stress wisely. Take care of your mental health. Sleep well. Meditate. Exercise. And you will find peace daily. A tired or overwhelmed leader cannot lead with clarity. A tired or overwhelmed leader cannot lead with clarity. Number 5, study human behavior. Observe patterns, learn body language, tone, and nonverbal cues. Leadership is not about talking, it's about reading people. Understand people's temperament, learn temperaments and personalities, the different temperaments and personalities and their combinations, and learn how that influences human behavior. It will help you a great deal. Why does emotional intelligence matter in today's world? Number 1, in the workplace, emotional intelligence predicts success more than intelligence quotient. For entrepreneurs, it determines how you negotiate and retain clients. If you bust out easily, you go to the market and you want to buy something from market woman, and then you are pricing, and then you get to a level, the market woman say, carry it, don't pay, just carry it. Don't relate to your clients that way. For teams, it builds loyalty, trust, and shared purpose. For individuals, it enhances confidence and peace of mind. As the world gets more digital, emotional intelligence becomes your human language. What I want you to understand at the end of today's episode is, 1, to recognize the role emotional intelligence or emotions play in your leadership effectiveness. I also want you to identify your personal EQ strengths and then the gaps. Then begin practicing empathy, calm decision taking, and effective communication. I have a call to action as always. Can you identify one relationship you need to repair or strengthen? Practice listening more and speaking less in that interaction. Journal your reflections after each conversation. What did you learn about yourself or the other person? Yes, you can send your stories and reflections to contact@theamongate.org, or you can send it to us on WhatsApp, and our WhatsApp number is +234 810 999 6666. I'll take it again. +230 810 +234 rather 810 999 6666. Would love to share some of your experiences with us, and we may be able to, if we find a very interesting one, we can share that experience in next week's broadcast. We're on a learning journey. Let's take this quote before I sign off. The greatest ability in leadership is the ability to get along with people. That's by Theodore Roosevelt, former American president. In conclusion, remember this: leadership is emotional before it is functional. People don't follow you because you are perfect. They follow you because you are present, authentic, and human. So lead with empathy, lead with patience, and build with compassion. That's how you rise, and that's how you lead. That's all for today on Rise and Lead, brought to you by Amogate Radio Communications. Join us next week for the 4th episode, the speed of adaptation, thriving in a fast-changing world. That's the topic we'll take next week. The speed of adaptation, thriving in a fast-changing world. we will explore how flexibility and quick learning define the new generation of leaders. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Amogate, or catch replays of all our past episodes on our YouTube channel, Amogate. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and also turn on your notification so you don't miss any broadcast. For feedback, you can reach us at contact@theamogate.org. That's our email, or the WhatsApp number I announced earlier, +234 810 999 6666. Leadership is a heart that works before it is a hand work. Leadership is a hard work before it is a hand work. I'm Adeola Gbadebo, reminding you to learn fast, live well, leave a legacy. Till next time, stay wise, stay kind, and keep rising. Goodbye.